Inside a cold, metallic cell on an alien warship, the human soldier sat in silence. His name was Mason Kane, a battle-hardened warrior from Earth. His hands were cuffed, his face bruised, and his uniform torn. But there was something strange about him. He was smiling. Commander Zira Thol, the alien in charge, walked into the cell. She was tall, with silver skin and glowing red eyes. She had defeated hundreds of soldiers. But this one, he made her uneasy. "You lost your fleet. You're alone. You should be afraid," she said, her voice sharp. Mason looked up at her, calm, confident, as if nothing could hurt him. "I've seen worse," he replied softly. Zira narrowed her eyes. "Why are you so calm, human?" Mason leaned forward, slowly. His smile never faded. Then he whispered one sentence into her ear, just a few quiet words. Zira froze. Her heart raced. She stepped back quickly, her face pale. The air in the room felt colder now. She didn't respond. She simply turned and left the cell without a word. The guards outside noticed her shaken look. "Commander, is everything all right?" She didn't answer. Mason's words echo in her mind like a warning. Back inside the cell, Mason sat quietly again, staring at the wall, still smiling. And in that silence, the war had already changed. The audience is left with one burning question. What did he say that made the powerful alien commander so afraid? Zira Thol walked through the dark hallway of the ship, her steps quick and uneven. Her mind was spinning. That one sentence Mason whispered, just a few simple words, had shaken her to her core. She had seen many enemies, but none had looked into her eyes with such calm, such quiet confidence. Back in her private chamber, she opened the hidden files on human history. She began reading. Wars, famines, bombs, mass deaths. Earth had nearly destroyed itself many times, but humans always survived. They didn't fear death. They didn't stop fighting. And worst of all, they didn't give up. She remembered Mason's exact words. "If I don't come back, they will." Those words felt heavier now. She thought Mason meant his army, but now she wondered, was it something worse? Something not even her people were ready for? Zira called a meeting with her top generals. "Do not invade Earth yet," she said. "Something feels wrong." But they laughed. "One man made you afraid." One general said, "We crushed their ships. We hold their strongest soldier. They are weak." Zira didn't argue. She simply ended the meeting and returned to her control room. Her eyes watched the stars. Back in the prison, Mason sat quietly again. His smile had faded, but his eyes stayed strong. He knew the signal would be sent soon, and when it was, they would come. And this time, humans weren't coming to talk. They were coming to remind the galaxy why Earth was never truly defeated. 3 days passed. Zira's people ignored her warnings. They believed Mason was just a broken soldier trying to scare them. But Zira couldn't shake the fear in her chest. She kept checking the deep space scanners, waiting, watching. Then, it happened. A strange signal appeared on their long-range radar. At first, it looked like a glitch. But it was real, fast, large, and heading straight for them. It wasn't one ship. It was a fleet. Their shape didn't match any known alien race. But the message was clear. "You took one of ours. Now we take him back." Panic spread across the alien command center. Ships scrambled. Defenses were raised. Zira stood frozen in front of the screen. This fleet was human, but not like before. These ships were newer, stronger, silent. Suddenly, the fleet stopped just outside the alien planet's orbit. One massive ship moved forward. It sent a single transmission. No images, just a voice. A cold, steady human voice spoke. "Release Mason Kane, or witness the cost of fear." Inside the prison, Mason heard the alarms. He looked up, finally standing. Zira rushed to his cell. She stared at him, trying to hide her fear. "Who are they?" she asked. Mason gave a small smile. "They're not here to negotiate. They're here because you made a mistake." The ship above charged its weapons. And for the first time, Zira realized they weren't prepared for this kind of war. They weren't prepared for humans who didn't fear death. The sky above Zira's planet burned red as the first human attack began. Their defense towers fired desperately, but it was useless. The human fleet moved like a storm, fast, precise, and brutal. One alien ship after another fell in flames. Inside the command center, Generals shouted orders. Panic ruled the room. No one had expected this kind of power from a species they once called primitive. Zira stood silently, watching her empire break apart piece by piece. Her mind wasn't on the battle. It was on Mason. She ran through the halls to the cell, but when she arrived, he was gone. The guards were unconscious. The door ripped open. A small blinking device was left behind. Human tech. Zira turned to the camera feeds. She saw them. 3 humans, dressed in black armor, moving through her ship like shadows, silent, deadly. One of them was Mason. They had come for him, and nothing else. She activated the ship's internal mic. "Stop. We can end this. We'll surrender." Mason turned to the nearest camera. For a moment, he said nothing. Then he spoke calmly. "You started a fire you can't control. Now it spreads." Zira's hands trembled. The great alien commander, feared across many worlds, was powerless. Outside, cities burned. Inside, fear spread faster than fire. Not just among soldiers, but leaders, citizens, even children. And deep inside the human ship above, more warriors were waiting. This was only the beginning. Smoke covered the alien capital. Buildings crumbled. The sky was filled with fire and ash. But then, just as suddenly as it all began, the attack stopped. Silence. No more bombs. No more ships firing. Only the heavy sound of fear and regret. Zira stood in the ruins of her command center, eyes fixed on the large human dropship landing nearby. She didn't run. There was no point. Her army was broken. Her pride was shattered. The ramp opened slowly. Mason stepped out, free, calm, and alive. He walked toward her, his black armor dusty but untouched by fear. Human soldiers stood behind him, watching everything, saying nothing. Zira lowered her head. "Why didn't you tell me what would happen?" she whispered. Mason stopped in front of her. "We did," he said, "but no one ever listens until the fire touches their home." She looked up at him, pain in her eyes. "We thought you were weak." Mason looked around at the destruction. "We were. Once. But we learned. Every time someone tried to break us, we got stronger." He took a step closer. "We don't fear death because we've already faced it. We fear silence, slavery, losing our freedom. That's what we fight for." Zira closed her eyes. She finally understood. It wasn't strength that made humans dangerous. It was their reason to fight. And in that moment, she realized she had never stood a chance against the species that refused to be broken.